Our St. Louis Dragons have a very important doubleheader today as we face off against two of the NFL's historic franchises, the Chicago Bears and then the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Dragons have exceeded expectations and taken the leap that we all hoped for this year as we currently sit at a record of 5-3. Despite that, we are still in last place in the NFC West because everybody in this division is really good. Through the first half of the year, the team has been really solid. We've had some inconsistencies on both sides of the ball, and we haven't had many complete performances where both the offense and defense play well in unison, but we've been able to win games. We're coming off a huge win last week against the Rams 24-6, and part of it is that we injured Deshaun Watson in the second quarter, and if he stays healthy, I don't know if the Rams would have won, but they would have scored more than 6 points. But nonetheless, our defense had a great performance, and we are 5-0 in games in which our defense plays really well, and we're 0-3 in games that they don't play well. The defense is clearly the X factor of this team, which is why during the trade deadline, we knew we had to address the defense, particularly the pass rush. I looked at some experienced veterans, but ultimately, I traded for B.J. Ojulari. I wanted somebody who had some experience within our pass rushing core, so naturally I traded for somebody who has 0 career sacks. But the upside that Ojulari brings to the table, added with how easy he was to trade for, I think makes the gamble worth it. There were a number of other notable moves around the rest of the NFL as Ronnie Stanley was traded from Baltimore to the Niners for a big haul. Marshall Lattimore to the Chiefs, Alvin Kamara to the Panthers. The Cowboys got Danielle Hunter, and then the Bengals and the Dolphins swapped Tyler Boyd and David Long. So that brings us here into weeks 10 and 11. We head to Chicago against the Bears, and then we host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Bears are not a very good team. They are 1-7. They've been one of the worst teams in the league this year, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where they have really struggled to get anything going. This is a very important game for us because we're in the midst of a playoff race. We're in last place in the division, so not only are we fighting for a division that we're also only half a game out of first place in, but these 3 teams in our division is our competition for the wild card. We're currently the number 7 seed in the NFC, and all 4 NFC West teams, if the season ended today, would make it in. So as we take a look at this Bears team, they are truly the definition of ice cold. They've got some young talent on the defensive side of the ball. They've been pretty good in that aspect, but offensively, they have really struggled. Now they are still an NFL team, and this is still a road game, so I don't want to take these guys lightly and put an extra chip on their shoulder to add on to the fact that, they're 1-7 and they're not very good. The reason why this team is bad is pretty simple. They lack talent in a severe way. This roster is not good whatsoever. They've got one player higher than an 83 overall. At quarterback, they've got Justin Fields, who played pretty well last year. They gave him an extension, and I don't think he's been the problem. The play calling's been bad. The skill position players are very young and inexperienced. Their lowest rated running back, rookie Kyer Moore, is the starter. They've just gone all out on youth offensively and on defense. They're led by their young talent, including Aramis Swearinger. Ralph Cookins was a top 10 pick a couple years ago. They traded up with us to select Marmaruke Azili, the defensive tackle out of Clemson, who's been one of the few bright spots. Hasim Cypress at linebacker, a superstar X factor. So if you're looking for a positive with this team, it is all of the young talent they've accumulated on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I'm curious to see what their front unit does because obviously our offensive line has, not been the best. We are actually healthy, though, on the offensive line. Tyron Smith is back. So this means our offensive line is fully healthy for the first time since the first quarter of week 1. We will be starting our 8th different starting offensive line combination over the first 9 games of the season. Now that Tyron Smith is back healthy, I would say the over-under on drives where the offensive line stays intact today before an injury is probably 3. Tyron Smith has played 1 full game so far. Jedrick Wills has missed a lot of time. Ryan Jensen's missed a lot of time. The offensive line, in terms of health, has been an utter disaster this season. So here we go, Week 10 on the road at Soldier Field against the 1-7, not so good, Chicago Bears. Interestingly, not only have we played against the Bears in each of the first 3 seasons of this series, but all 3 matchups have been at Soldier Field, ironically. And the Bears historically have played fairly well. against us. So hopefully we can change the narrative this year, and we'll see what Chicago's struggling offense can do on the opening drive. Fields on the read option, loses 2. Wrapped up by the longtime Chicago Bear pass rusher Khalil Mack, who took over the game in the fourth quarter last week against the Rams with 4 TFLs and 2 sacks, doubling his sack total for the year. Second down, Fields up the middle, he connects. Big play after the catch, and the Bears bring that one nearly to midfield. That's Tyler Scott, the third-year receiver out of the University of Cincinnati, making the play. Following play here on first down, Fields under pressure, finds a hole. Fields with a big run, breaks a tackle. Fields still on his feet. He brings it all the way to the 21, where he's wrapped up by Trajan Bleichenden, but not before gaining 30. As bad as this Bears offense has been, they're looking sharp with a couple big plays here in the opening couple minutes. Fields connects with Deontay Johnson. It looked like he was in the end zone, but they're going to rule him down at the 1. Good tackle there by the rookie corner, Cam Lucifer II, who's had a really good rookie season. Fields keeps it himself on first and goal. He's in for a touchdown. For being maybe the worst offense in the NFL, that was a pretty good first drive. The Dragons only allowed 6 points and 0 touchdowns last week against the Rams, one of the best offenses in the NFL. So fittingly, they allow an early touchdown to the Bears because logic. Big throw downfield from Puma Whitlock to Michael Gallup. He brings it inside the red zone of the 19-yard line, and that was on a third down as well. Gallup was completely uncovered and takes full advantage. 3rd and 3 now. Puma Whitlock looks to throw it. Backs up in the pocket, floats it up, and it is incomplete. So the Bears do get the stop as the rookie, Mamarou Zilli, hurt on the play. That'll bring out the field goal unit, and unfortunately there's no kicking meter here in Chicago, so it might be pretty tough for the kickers. Dicker's kick will doink off the crossbar, no good. Did you guys see how fast the kick meter went? I would argue that's a bigger disadvantage than not having a kick meter to begin with. We would have made that kick if the kicking meter wasn't speeding as fast as Chris Olave on a New Orleans freeway. So it remains 7-0, and the Bears are going to get right back to work. Here is Kyer Moore, the rookie out of LSU, drafted in the 2nd round of last year's draft with a big first down run. Following play, Fields keeps it himself up the middle, breaks a tackle, fumbles it, and it's picked up by the defense. Jeff Okudah recovers the fumble, and it's Devin White who gets the ball out. A big stop defensively for the Dragons, who have not had a lot going for them today until that play. They'll get it back on offense. Puma dances around. He will run for a first down, showing his buddy Justin Fields that, hey, you're not the only quarterback who can run here. Fields and Puma, of course, a couple of former Buckeye quarterbacks. Final play of the first quarter, 2nd and 9. Puma looking short for Griffin Weaver. He's held out of the end zone. Would have been his first score of the year. But he does get it to the 1, making it a 1st and goal to kick off the second quarter. Puma's going to look to throw it, going short, and it's caught by Tykeem Keon Jr. for the touchdown. We gave Keon an extended amount of snaps last week because he's played well this year, and he looked really good last week. He's going to continue to get more and more snaps as he plays well, and he's getting full-time reps with the starters, basically. That's how good he's been over the course of the last few weeks. Bears back with it on 3rd and 9. Fields is a wide-open man downfield. That was hideous coverage, and Darnell Mooney takes advantage as he gets the first down reception. The Bears now have it at the 31, 3rd and 7. Fields looks to throw it once again. It's broken up. Jordan Whitehead got a hand on it, and so the Dragons defense clutches up and gets the stop. That'll bring out the field goal unit. This kick is from around 48, looking to put the Bears on top. Kick is up, and it is good. I know the kicking difficulty only affects the road team, but I feel like it should affect both teams. The Bears have a storied history of missing kicks here too. 3rd and 8. It's a screen for the rookie Arturo Modelo, and he nearly gets the first down. Good tackle there by Jaquan Brisker as Cookins, the 2nd-year edge rusher out of Penn State, is hurt on the play. Interesting 4th and inches decision here for the Dragons. They would elect to punt the ball. It's too early to go for it, especially in your own territory. And the Bears get it back. Here's Kyer Moore. Bounces off a block. Down the field. Nobody's in front of him. He's going to take it all the way. An 81-yard touchdown for the rookie, Kyer Moore. And the Chicago Bears lead by 10. In hindsight, maybe the Dragons should have gone for it, although who really saw that one coming? And the Bears offense, who has been dreadful this year, is alive and well today, out of hibernation. Dragons back with it. Here's a nice play on the slant after the catch by Tykeem Kingan Jr. He gets it past midfield for a St. Louis first down. The offense has to keep up with the defense already looking surprisingly shaky. Here is Israel Abanikanda with room to run. Nice play for Big Izzy. And there's Tyron Smith. We said the over-under was 3 drives, and hey, he hit the over. This is the 4th drive. Impressive from Tyron Smith, who lasted longer than I expected. He's strained his tricep. His day is done, but it will not be a long-term injury. He'll be good to go next week. Puma on the run. He's intercepted. That's Aramis Swearinger who picks it off. Just the 3rd interception that Puma Whitlock has thrown all year. And things are going to go from bad to worse for the St. Louis Dragons, who are really starting to struggle. Bears back with it, up by 10, 3rd and 5. Fields completely misfires for Deontay Johnson. Justin Fields has made some big throws today, but he's been pretty inefficient, only 3 of 8. And the Dragons get it back. Chicago does not score off the turnover. Around 4 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Darwin Juskins to the left side with room. Big run for Juskins. He brings it to the 43. Juskins probably knows a thing or two about the Bears, having been on their division rival Green Bay for a 1.5-year stretch. On first down, short throw is caught by Griffin Weaver. He fumbles it and quickly jumps on it. Good play there by Weaver to quickly recover the fumble. Another turnover is not what the Dragons need here. Puma Whitlock is under a ton of pressure on 3rd and 9. Rolls out and it's incomplete. Looking for Keon, but Tyreek Stevenson got a hand on it. And the Dragons' offensive struggles continue. They will have to punt it away with Percy Harvin. It'll be received inside the 15 by Des Cord, the rookie out of Ohio State. He's going to break a tackle. Here goes Cord down the field. Nobody's going to catch him. Another 80-plus yard touchdown for the Chicago Bears. And they lead by 3 possessions here in the first half. Des Cord, the 2nd-round draft pick out of the Ohio State University, makes the play, and it's 24-7. This game is looking like a blowout. We thought if it was a blowout, it'd be on the other side. There's Isaiah Likely with a nice play for a first down. Around 1.5 minutes to go. Puma Whitlock looking to throw it. Scrambles to the right side. He's got running room. Instead, he throws it. It's caught. Good catch. Despite a big hit, it's the rookie Arturo Modelo who hurt his shoulder. He'll be out for the game as it dislocated as he got popped to the ground. Following play, Puma, his pass is intercepted again. Tremaine Edmonds picks it off, and this game continues to get from bad to worse to just flat out ugly. Puma Whitlock, who's only thrown 2 interceptions this year, has added 2 more over the last 3 drives. The Bears are already up by 17. Will they add more? Here's a big sack by Devontae Wyatt, forcing a loss of 9. The Bears would start chewing clock from there. They don't want to make any mistakes. They are more than satisfied with their 3-score lead, as they should be. Nice run there by Moore, but it only goes for 6. And Tyler Scott is hurt, so the Dragons don't have to use their last timeout. Alonyo said timeout. They've got 17 seconds in their back pocket as on 3rd down. Puma, no time to throw it. He is quickly sacked on the play, and that'll wrap up what has been just a disaster of the first half for the St. Louis Dragons, who trail 24-7 against the 1-7 Chicago Bears. Not ideal. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the rest of the NFL. We will start in Jacksonville. If you're looking for some sort of good news, here's some. The Seahawks currently trail to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good start for Trevor Lawrence and the boys out in Lambeau. It's been all Pittsburgh so far. The Dragons face off against this tough Steelers team led by Jared Goff next week, which is later in today's episode. And then in South Beach, the Dolphins have the edge over the Browns, 2 very solid teams in a loaded AFC conference, particularly the AFC North and the AFC East are certainly the 2 best divisions. As we go into the second half, we're down big. We're probably going to be throwing the ball a lot, and I imagine the Bears are going to run the ball a lot, as they already have. They're not even trying to get the ground game going. Justin Fields has completed 3 passes, yet they're up by 3 possessions. Luckily, the Dragons will start with the ball here in the second half. Nice play after the catch by Tornado Davis as a couple of Bears defensive players ran into each other. That's the Chicago Bears we all know and love. not the team who broke off 2 80-yard touchdowns and leads by 3 scores. W10&11 with room has a first down, brings it in the red zone. Okay, now the offense is waking up. The offense has been pretty shaky. They've moved the ball down the field, though, despite only getting 7 points. 3rd and 10. Puma under pressure, looks short. Nice catch by Likely, but he only gets around 4. He's wrapped up by Chris Gentry, second rounder out of Memphis. Yes, the Bears did have 3 second-round picks this year. That'll bring on the field goal unit. Dicker 0 for 1 so far, as this one barely goes in. That was closer than it should have been, but he made it, and it's now 24-10. So the game's a little bit closer, but still a big deficit. 3rd and 7 here for Chicago. Fields looks to roll out to the right, and he is sacked! B.J. Ojulari with his not only first sack as a Dragon, but the first sack of his NFL career. It took 2.5 years longer than he had hoped for, but hey, better late than never. Dragons back with it, 3rd and 8. Wide open up the middle of the field is Jamison Williams. He brings it to the 20. It's been a quiet start for JMO, as it has for a lot of guys on the offense. Puma Whitlock's been really efficient today throwing the ball. Hasn't missed many passes other than the interceptions. On 3rd down, Puma looks short again. It's JMO with room. He's in for a touchdown. And the St. Louis Dragons are only down by 1 score. As bad as the first half was, the Dragons look strong here in the second half. That was a really nice play after the catch by JMO, showing off his incredible speed. And the Dragons are going to go for 2. Analytically, when you're down by 2 scores and get a touchdown, it's smarter to go for 2. It's a proven fact. Now, they don't get it, as Darwin Juskins is stopped shy of the end zone, and Royal Osachua is hurt. You know, maybe we should have just kicked the extra point. Nonetheless, it is still a 1-score game, 24-16, as the Bears have it back. On 1st down, Fields looks to throw it, under pressure, and he is sacked again. B.J. Ojulari did not record a sack in his first probably 700-plus NFL snaps, and now here he is with 2 sacks on back-to-back defensive plays. Football's a weird sport. 2nd and 12. Fields on the run, doesn't get sacked by Ojulari. Instead, he has a big rushing room, and he's going to bring it all the way past the 50. A huge run for Fields, who has 6 carries for 66 yards. He might be the devil. His legs have certainly been the devil to our defense today. 3rd and 1 up the middle. Khalil Herbert with the first down. That's a big run for the Bears, getting them in clear field goal range as we enter the 4th quarter. The Dragons had a very strong 3rd quarter, but they still trail by 8, and they still need a lot to go their way here over the last 10 minutes. First play of the quarter, Fields connects with Johnson, and he brings it to the 1. Good catch, as he took on a pretty big hit there by the rookie Cam Lucifer. 1st and goal now from the 1. Can the Bears make it a 2-score game once again? As Fields keeps it himself, he is smothered for a loss of about 4. It's Javon Kinlaw who makes the play. The Bears would bring it back to the 1 on 2nd down, so now 3rd and goal. Fields keeps it himself again. This time he's in for a Chicago Bears touchdown. Big drive for the Bears. They're back up by 2 scores, and the Dragons offense has a lot of damage control to do. On 1st down, here's Puma up the middle, connects with Tykeem Keon Jr., who's having another great game. He brings it to the 46. 3rd and 2 now. It's going to be a handoff for Tornado Davis, the rookie, looking to break it outside, and he is stopped. Great tackle by Jaquan Brisker. 4th and inches at the 42. Obviously, this is 4-down territory, and at this stage in the game, you'd be pretty stupid not to go for it. So Puma has it under center. He's going to look to sneak it, and he does not get it! The Bears with the stop. Gervin Dexter leads the way, and so the QB sneak is unsuccessful. And the Bears get it back up by 2 scores, looking to finish the game off. Fields is leveled on 1st down for a loss of 4 by Khalil Mack. Hasn't done a whole lot as a pass rusher today, but he's had a good game in the run. 3rd and 4 now. Fields under pressure, rolls out, misfires. It's incomplete. Good drive by the defense. They quickly get off the field, but still, the offense has a lot of work to do, down by 15 with 5.5 to go. Puma Whitlock is in the zone. He's got Davis open up the middle. Big play after the catch by Tornado Davis II. He gets it to the 46-yard line. The Dragons are already running no huddle. They know time is not on their side here. Puma on the run. He's going to keep it, and he slides for a gain of around 12 or 13. Puma's looking to use his legs more. He knows those are a big asset. Here's Griffin Weaver out of bounds with a first down to the 31, and the offense is continuing to move it down the field, not only nicely, but also quickly. Play action fake. Puma didn't really sell out the run because he knew he would have Keon wide open, but he completely misses the throw. That's a touchdown if he times up the pass correctly. Miscommunication there, although I really feel like that was on Puma. He should have thrown it earlier. On third down, he goes short for Keon. Woo! Nice juke move. He gets the first down, and Keon continues to be a very reliable weapon in the passing game. 2nd and 1. Fake jet sweep. It does not fake out Kyler Gordon. He's in the backfield with the sack, forcing a loss of 7. Now it's a 3rd and 8 for the offense. Time is ticking, a little over 3 to go. Puma under pressure, hit as he throws as it's dropped by Weaver. Big hit there by Brisker, who's been all over the field today for the Bears. 4th and 8, game is on the line here pretty much. Puma's going to look for the end zone. It's Jamison Williams who comes down with the score, his 2nd of the ball game, and the St. Louis Dragons can bring it back within 1 possession. Since they need a 2-point conversion, the question is, do you go for it now or do you wait? I don't believe in waiting. I believe you just got to go for it. The Dragons missed on a run earlier, so they will pass it this time, and it works. Griffin Weaver with a really tough catch. That was a risky throw, and that was certainly in traffic. Weaver's able to hold on to the ball, and it's a 7-point lead. The Bears have it back with 3 minutes to go as the Dragons decided not to go for the onside, despite the fact that their rushing defense has been Swiss cheese today. On first down, Fields hands it off to Khalil Herbert, breaks a tackle, and he gains around 2 or 3. Okay, that could have been a worse start for the Dragons defense, who are already going to call their timeouts. Again, it's not worth really wasting time here. 2nd and 7. It's a handoff for Herbert, breaks a tackle. He nearly gets the first down, gaining 6. That should have been a loss of 2 or 3. Unacceptable tackling on that play. A big loss turns into a big gain. Now it's a 3rd and 1. Owen Popeau reads the play perfectly, but he misses the tackle. You guys gotta finish your tackles. I think all 3 plays on that drive, Khalil Herbert was hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he broke all of those tackles and turned them into solid gains. The game is not technically over, but the Dragons are out of timeouts. Here's Herbert with blocks. Big first down run, and the Bears are now in field goal range. They can just taste sweet victory. It would be just their 2nd of the year. Clock is continuing to tick. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Khalil Herbert breaks a tackle, gets the first down, and that will do it. The Bears can kneel out the clock, although with seconds to go, they're going to bring the field goal team out, adding some extra salt in the wound. I don't get the point of this for the Chicago Bears. Just kneel the clock out with class and end the game. But instead, they add a field goal and they increase their win to 10. 34-24, your final. The Chicago Bears upset the St. Louis Dragons, winning just their 2nd game of the year. This is not a game that the Dragons could have afforded to lose. Being in last place in the division, we need all the wins we can get, and we cannot be losing games to teams that are now 2-7. Just unacceptable stuff. Our offense outgained them by 100 yards. The Bears didn't even throw for 100 yards. They didn't even try to get the passing game going. They ran it down our throats all day long, and guess what? It worked. Puma Whitlock was solid. He had some good throws for sure. Threw for nearly 400 yards. He was really good, I think, down the stretch in the 4th quarter, but those 2 interceptions in the first half were killers. As for Fields, quiet game in the air, but he was very impactful on the ground. Moore and Herbert were great as well. This trio each had 2 20-plus yard runs each. That's 6 runs of at least 20 yards for the Bears today. That's unacceptable. Way too many big plays. Obviously, we had all the receiving standouts because we're the only team who threw the ball. Tykeem Keon had another great game. Jamison Williams played really well. Griffin Weaver, I thought, was very productive. Isaiah Likely was solid, too. I mean, everybody's at the top of the list. This is what happens when our quarterback throws the ball nearly 50 times compared to Fields, who threw it like 12 times. I thought our offensive line was actually pretty good for the most part, and I thought our defensive line, at least in the passing game, was productive. Obviously, they didn't get anything going in the run game, but I thought the pass rush was solid. Shout out B.J. Ojulari. He had a nice game. The Bears had a couple of sacks, but they were all on design blitzes rather than really good reps by the defensive line. Couple of turnovers here. Obviously, the 2 interceptions by Edmonds and Swearinger were really killers for us in the first half. You certainly don't want to lose to a team who has one win, but any given Sunday, any team can win in the National Football League. And hopefully this is a wake-up call for our team that you guys can't be slacking against teams that aren't good. We had a number of guys, especially on offense, get banged up throughout the game, but no new long-term injuries. So everybody who was good today is going to be good to go for next week against the 5-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's take a look at the scores around the rest of the NFL. But before that, I want to point out that everybody's morale is in the toilet. So clearly, after the loss against the Bears, everybody's pissed off, which, I mean, makes sense. Hopefully this doesn't lead to more tensions in the locker room like we had last year, because I feel like that really derailed our season. Here are your scores around the NFL. Seattle does lose to the Jaguars despite making it a game late. The Niners beat the Colts and the Rams beat the Texans, so we are a game and a half behind San Fran and LA. Players of the week, Deshaun Watson and Otto Askew, the two quarterbacks who we hurt earlier in the year, ironically, along with Fred Warner and Shaq Thompson. So that'll bring us into Week 11 with the Pittsburgh Steelers on the schedule. We're a game and a half out of first place, now in last in the NFC West. We are still currently the 7th seed in the conference, tied with the Giants and the Cowboys. And the Steelers are in a similar spot as us. They're also 5-4 in a loaded division, and they're currently in 7th place, fighting for first place in the AFC North, while the other 3 teams in their division are also simultaneously fighting for wild card spots. So just as this game is super important for us, it's also super important for them as well. We have a storyline here for a prospect profile, and I thought to myself, who would be the funniest player who could show up here? It would probably be Cap Crew, because our head coach, Scotty Pickens, was teammates with his dad for like a decade. This game is such a troll. I love how our assistant GM is telling Coach Scotty Pickens about this player as if Scotty Pickens wouldn't know who this is. Scotty Pickens was in the same receiving room as his dad, Quinn Crew, for a decade. I would hope that Scotty Pickens knows who he is. We talked about Cap Crew in the last episode out of LSU. Really talented receiving prospect. And obviously we have more prospect profiles later as the season goes along. But right now our focus is on the 5-4 Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been pretty bad over the last couple of years, but they've turned it around this year with a new quarterback. So going into the preseason, they were kind of the only team left in the QB carousel, and Jared Goff was really the only guy left available as the Lions let him go in free agency. So these two sides figured they would team up, and it's clearly worked out. He's had a great year. He's not in the top 10 for the MVP, which he should be. It's also a travesty that Puma Whitlock is not in the top 10, but I digress. Nonetheless, Goff has had a great season here in Pittsburgh. He's obviously got a talented group of skill position players with Najee Harris, Ontario Jackson, George Pickens, Rondale Moore, Assisi Verone Jr., Pat Freiermuth, and others. Obviously, the stars of this team are on defense, though, and it's not just the guys you know, like Micah Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt, but some of the newer faces like Jamal Adams and Charvarius Ward. Ward won't play today, though. That's a big loss in the secondary as he's their number 1 corner, so they're going to be relying on Joey Porter Jr. and the veteran Byron Jones to really step up. Massive game here for both teams as they're both in the exact same situations, but at opposite conferences. 5-4, the current number 7 seeds in the 2 best divisions in the NFL, where every team is good. Both of these teams know you cannot afford to lose too many games, especially the Dragons, who just lost to the 1-7 Chicago Bears. They can't inconceivably lose another one today, right? Let's hope St. Louis can get back on the win column as they face off against a really talented Pittsburgh Steelers team. The Dragons will start on offense. First play from scrimmage is a play-action fake. Puma Whitlock under pressure. He connects. It's guess who? Tykeem Keon Jr., who makes another play, and Ryan Jensen's hurt. Not a serious injury. He'll return to the game, but there's another blow to the offensive line. On second down, Puma's under a ton of pressure. He's got a man open deep, but he can't get rid of it. Alex Highsmith, another one of the stars on this defense, brings him down, and him and Puma appear to have some words for each other after the play. 3rd and 16 now after the big sack. Puma's under more pressure, hit as he throws by the veteran Cam Hayward, as he just has to throw out of the sack, and it's incomplete. So that'll force a punt, and the Steelers get the ball. So here's a look at the former number 1 pick, Jared Goff, on his 3rd NFL team. And it appears that he's really found a home here in Pittsburgh. Nice throw over to George Pickens, who is leveled for a first down by his former Georgia teammate, Eric Stokes. Second down for Pittsburgh, already moving it nicely at the 36. 5-receiver set. Goff alone in the backfield as he goes up the middle. Nice play here by Rondale Moore, who brings it to the 17. Moore may not be the biggest guy, but he's an awfully talented receiver. Halfway through the first, following play, Goff drops back with all day to throw it, looking deep, and it's caught for a touchdown by George Pickens. Quick start for the Steelers. They get a stop, and then they march down the field and score. It's early, but that's not the start the Dragons hoped for. St. Louis back with it. Puma fumbles it. It's a strip sack for T.J. Watt, and it's recovered by Highsmith. A huge turnover from Puma Whitlock. He's already fumbled it 6 times this year after only coughing up the ball 4 times as a rookie. Pittsburgh gets the ball back. 3rd and 8. Goff looks to throw it under a little pressure, and he throws it away. So at least the defense is able to get the stop. And so that'll bring out the field goal team. They're going to go for a 59-yarder here with Cade York. It is up, and it is good. He not only made it, but he drilled it. And so the turnover results in an additional 3 points, and it's now 10-0 in favor of the Steelers. Dragons back with it, looking to pick it up after a rough start. Here's a short throw for Isaiah Likely, wrapped up at the 40-yard line. Good play there from Puma Whitlock, connecting with his tight end. 3rd and 7 now with a minute to go in the quarter. Puma drops back to throw it. Under pressure, looking downfield. It's broken up for Weaver. Victor Ridgewood the second-year safety out of the University of Florida, got a hand on it. And the Dragons would have to punt it away. Steelers back with it. They've got everybody in motion. If you're on the left, you're switching to the right, and vice versa. Goff alone in the backfield as he's going to keep it. A design run for Jared Goff. I don't know what kind of play call that is. Is Matt Canada still employed? He loses 3. Shocker. Wrapped up by Trajan Bleichenden. 2nd down now. Goff drops back to throw it, and he connects. It's Brandon Cooks who breaks a tackle, and he brings it all the way to the 45. The gain of 33 yards for the veteran Brandon Cooks, who's been around the block. He's played on a lot of teams, but he's still got quite a bit left in the tank. 3rd and 1. Goff's pass is incomplete. Misfires for Pickens. Good coverage by Jeff Okuda. And so the Steelers are going to have to kick. Cade York made one from 59 earlier. This one's from a lot closer, 34. And it is once again through the uprights. And the Steelers added their lead. It's 13-0. The Dragons got to wake up. They are not playing very good football today on either side of the ball. On 1st down, here's Puma looking short as Jamison Williams wide open. And he gets the 1st down to the 41. Puma's been really aggressive so far. I think he's going to look to be a little bit more conservative on plays like that. And it still turns into a big gain. Here's Israel Abanikanda up the middle. Nice run. Darwin Juskins is out for the rest of the game with a bruised sternum. So it'll be Abanikanda and Tornado Davis in the backfield for the rest of the way. 3rd and 2. Puma on the run. It's dropped by Davis. What do you do here on 4th and 2? The Dragons haven't scored. I'm sure they really want points. But they're going to be aggressive and go for it. Handoff for Davis. He does not get it. The Steelers with the stop. Big play for Pittsburgh. And it'll remain 13-0. The Dragons still held off the board. Here's Najee Harris with a big run up the middle. He gets the 1st down to the 33. Overall, the run defense for the Dragons has been pretty good after allowing nearly 300 yards on the ground last week. But it's been the pass defense who's been bad. And right as I'm gassing up the run defense, they leave Najee Harris with a wide open hole to gain nearly 20. That's about as good of blocking as you could ask for a running back. 3rd and 5, around 3 minutes to go in the half. Goff's pass is dropped right in the hands of George Pickens. Stokes got a hit. He still should have caught the ball, though. And the Dragons offense gets it back, just looking for some kind of points. Abanikanda loses 4. Wrapped up by big Cameron Hayward. He's one of the older players in the league, but he's still really good. On 2nd down, Puma Whitlock has an open man deep. It's Michael Gallup who takes a big hit, but he's able to hold on to the ball. Under a minute 20, Puma Whitlock rolls out to the right side. On the run, it's caught. Risky throw for Tykeem Keon. That could have been intercepted, but he's able to come down with it, bringing it into the red zone. 3rd and 5 now from the 12. The Dragons not using their timeouts, trying to chew clock as Puma has open rushing room and he takes advantage. Showing off what he can do with his legs as he slides forward at the 5. 1st and goal now. The Dragons would finally call a timeout. Puma looking to do the same, and he is unable to as he's sacked on the play for a loss of about 3 or 4. Second and goal, 15 seconds and a timeout. Puma looks to throw it again. He rolls out to the right side. He's got open rushing room. Puma, boom! Takes a big hit, and he's in for a touchdown, putting his body on the line. He says, TJ Watt, try me, because I'm going in head first. Now, you don't love seeing your quarterback putting his body on the line like that, because obviously he is our magnum opus in terms of being an asset for this team. But still, credit to him for being willing to take some contact and obviously succeeding by scoring. Not a good first half for the Dragons, but the defense is playing better. The offense finally scored, and hey, we're only down by 6. We're right back in the game. Let's take a look at the halftime report around the rest of the NFL, as we will start off with the 49ers, who are currently handling business here in Green Bay. Deebo Samuel here would catch his 16th, yes, 16th receiving touchdown of the year, and we're only in week 11. If the Niners win, they'll be 8-3 with a date with the Dragons next week. The Giants are manhandling the Chicago Bears. Why couldn't we have gotten this version of the Bears last week? And finally, in Indianapolis, the Cinderella start for the Cleveland Browns appears to have faded a little bit. Anthony Richardson and the Colts had the edge. Richardson's got more to play for than just about anybody in the entire league, as he looks to prove to the Colts that he can be their franchise quarterback. As we go into the second half, it has not been great, but we're only down by 6. We're probably going to be throwing the ball a lot because we're down, and our 2 best running backs are hurt. And then defensively, I think our pass defense has gotten better as the game has gone along, but Jared Goff still has a perfect passer rating in the intermediate area of the field, so we've got to contain him there. 3rd and 7. Goff looks to throw it. He's under pressure, and he throws it away. Khalil Mack with the hit in the backfield, so the defense gets another stop, and the Dragons on offense can hypothetically take the lead here. 3rd and inches from around the 26. It's a handoff for Davis. He does not get it. Cam Hayward brings him down, and hey, Tyron Smith is hurt again. Shocking. Who could have seen that one coming? The Dragons would decide to punt it. It's still too early to go for it. Pittsburgh has it back. 3rd and inches. Short throw for Najee Harris. That's a first down as he breaks the tackle and brings it to midfield. Good play there for the Steelers, who look to make it a 2-score game once again. 3rd and 1 with the talented tight end, Pat Freiermuth, in motion. The Dragons defense expecting run as it ends up being play action. Goff fumbles it. It's a strip sack for Jordan Whitehead, and it's picked up by the defense. Devontae Wyatt recovers the fumble, and the offense will get it back. Jared Goff is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in structure, but as soon as there's pass rush coming towards him, he's a completely different player for the worst. And in this instance, he's unable to get rid of the ball. He coughs it up, and he turns it over. Dragons back with it, 2nd and 3. Puma Whitlock on the run. As a wide open man, it's Jamison Williams who brings it all the way to the 14-yard line. Did the Steelers just not see him downfield? That was pitiful coverage. 2nd and 9. Puma looking for the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown by Griffin Weaver III, and the St. Louis Dragons with an extra point can take the lead. Weaver finally gets his first touchdown of the year, and St. Louis is now on top. They started off slow, but now they're winning 14-13. First play of the drive. Goff is picked off. His former teammate in Detroit, Jeff Okudah, with the interception. Back-to-back turnovers from Jared Goff, and the Dragons are going to start basically in the red zone. Again, when there's a lick of pressure, Jared Goff is not the same player. Showing it there as he turns it over again, and the Dragons have it back. 3rd and inches. Puma looking short. It's caught for a first down by another one of Jared Goff's former teammates, Jamison Williams, who brings it to the 7. 3rd and goal now from the 2. Dragons looking to add another touchdown and add to their lead. Puma rolls out to the left. He's got room. Puma takes it himself. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon. And the St. Louis Dragons have scored 21 unanswered points. They lead at 21-13. The 3rd quarter has been all St. Louis. 2 turnovers and 2 touchdowns as we move into the 4th with an 8-point lead. On first down, Goff takes a shot downfield. It's DJ Chark who brings it to the 8. DJ Chark's another guy who's teammates with Goff in Detroit. How many former Lions are we going to get in this game? Jesus Christ. 2nd and goal now from the 1. It's a toss to the right side, and Najee Harris is in for 6. The Steelers, with a 2-point conversion, can tie it here as well. Big run for Najee Harris, who's had a really good game. We'll see what the Steelers do. Back to Najee. We're tied. It's an octopus. For those who don't know what that is, it's an 8-point play where the same player gets the touchdown and a 2-point conversion, as Najee Harris just did. So there you go. Najee Harris just did the octopus. Puma on the run with a really nice throw for Griffin Weaver. Puma Whitlock is not missing throws today. 21 of 24. Exceptional efficiency. 3rd and 8 now. Puma, with his X Factor on, is willing to take some gambles as it's broken up by Joey Porter Jr. The intended target, the rookie, Arturo Modelo. So that'll force a punt here for Presley Harvin. And this one looks like it could be pinned back deep, and it just barely rolls into the end zone in front of Stokes. So the Steelers catch a bullet, and they'll get the ball back at the 20-yard line with 7 to go in a tie game. 1 first down. Here's Goff. Under pressure, he's sacked. Cam Lucifer brings him down. Lucifer's gotten quite a few snaps today in the nickel. He's playing all over the field, and the rookie continues to have a great season, although today he's been a little spotty in coverage. 3rd and 5, up the middle. Big first down for Najee Harris. That'll really set the tone for this drive here for the Steelers. And again, all they need is a field goal to take the lead. On first down, Goff. No time. He's sacked. Devin White brings him down for a loss of the round 10. The Dragons had 3 sacks today, but none of them are from the actual pass rushers. They've all been off of design blitzes. 2nd and 20. Goff has a wide open man. It's Pickens with the first down. That was just flat out horrific coverage by the St. Louis Dragons. You cannot let him get that wide open. Under 5 to go from the 45. Jared Goff. Risky throw. It's caught by Cooks, who is able to box out Cam Lucifer to come down with it. Clock is ticking. 2nd and 7, under 4 to go. Najee Harris with the catch down the field. He will bring it to around the 13-yard line. If I'm the Steelers, I'm trying to chew as much clock as possible. Don't let the Dragons get the ball back with too much time. So I would imagine the Steelers are probably going to look to run the ball here early on this red zone opportunity. No, it's a play action, and the fake works. Pickens is in the end zone for a 2nd time today, and the Pittsburgh Steelers take the lead off of the touchdown from Jared Goff to George Pickens, 28-21. Offense back with it, 3rd and 3. Puma's intercepted! Micah Fitzpatrick picks it off. He's going to outrun Ingram, and he takes it all the way for a pick 6. So after the Dragons scored 21 in a row, the Steelers respond with 22 unanswered points here in the 4th, and they're up by 14. Now all of a sudden, the Dragons kind of need a miracle. Well, there's a good start. Great footwork by Arturo Modelo to keep him in bounds. Good throw on the run there by Puma. Under a minute to go now. The Dragons not exactly moving quickly here as Tykeem Keon drops it. That was right in his hands. Got to come down with it. And now it's a 4th and 8. Game on the line here for the Dragons. They do have all 3 timeouts still for what it's worth. Puma, quick throw for Keon, wasting no time getting that ball out for a first down. After an intentional grounding, it's 2nd and 21 with 30 seconds left. Puma rolls out to the left. He's going to look to run with it again. Big run for Puma as he's out of bounds for a gain of 16 yards. There's only 23 seconds, even though the Dragons do have all 3 timeouts. 3rd and 5 now for St. Louis. Here's Puma looking for the end zone. It's Tykeem Keon, his 3rd consecutive game with a touchdown. He continues to be so steady and has really been consistent these last few weeks. So the Dragons score. It took them way longer than it should have, and there's only 20 seconds left in the game. They do have all 3 timeouts, though. They wanted to hold on to those. Nice recovery on the onside kick for the Steelers. That was a really tough grab for Connor Hayward, the younger brother of Cam Hayward. So the Steelers are looking to chew some clock, finish this game off for good. On 3rd and 6, Najee Harris doesn't get the first down. The Dragons are actually going to, tackle. And on 4th down, the Steelers have a few options. You could punt it here, pin him deep. You could look to kick, but instead they're going to go for it. I don't think I'd go for it here, but that's what they do. Handoff for Najee Harris, and he does not get it. Big tackle for Cam Lucifer. And so the Dragons will get it back with 7 seconds, now 1 second, and an opportunity to go for the Hail Mary. So this is it from the 31-yard line. Puma Whitlock will have to heave this one up for the heavens. It's got a lot of distance. It's tipped, and it's dropped! Isaiah Likely had the ball right in his hands! That's a touchdown if he comes down with it, but he drops it, and the game is over. The Steelers survive by the skin of their chinny chin chins, 35-28. How on earth did Isaiah Likely not catch the goddamn ball? That was tipped right into his hands, and he literally had it. He basically had possession, but he lets it go. Here's another look. It's not even like it tipped him on the finger. No, he had it, and he has a walk-in touchdown if he holds on to the ball. But he just drops it at the last second. Wow. I cannot believe we lost this game off of a wide-open drop by Isaiah Likely, who does not drop the ball very often. He's one of our most steady players on the entire roster. Puma Whitlock, for 3.5 quarters, was not missing throws. He did miss some down the stretch because, well, he had to play hero ball. The interception was very poorly timed, though. Could not have come in a worse situation, and I think that pick lost us the game. I thought Jared Goff was pretty good, as was Najee Harris. Harris really picked it up as the game went along. As for us, we really did not have a run game. It was Puma Whitlock who had to do everything on the ground for us. Tykeem Keon, Jamison Williams, and Griffin Weaver all played very well again, as did George Pickens. And then Isaiah Likely, man, I don't know why it says he doesn't have a drop. The ball was very clearly in his hands. As for the offensive line, I think both teams up front were pretty good. The fact that the Steelers' offensive line was so good is definitely the reason why they won, because A, the run game was effective, and then B, Jared Goff doesn't have to make plays out of structure. I think that was ultimately the difference. Still quite a few blocks. The rookie Chandre Bigsley and TJ Watt got a sack for the Steelers. We had 3 of our own as well, although none of them were off of 1 reps by the defensive line. They were off of designed blitzes. Both teams turned the ball over twice with a pair of interceptions and a pair of fumbles from the 2 quarterbacks. So although both QBs had really good games, they didn't exactly take good care of the football. We've got a couple new injuries on defense, with Javon Kinlaw breaking his ribs, Devon Clark torn labrum. They'll be out for a couple weeks, but Simeon Bonnet and DeAndre Swift are back next week. Both of those recoveries are going to be huge. We need Simeon Bonnet. Obviously, he's the best player on the entire roster. That goes without saying. And then the run game's been very spotty without DeAndre Swift, even with the addition of Darwin Juskins, and I'm excited to have those guys together. The Niners and Rams won, of course, but the Rams win does come at the expense of Seattle. It looks like the Niners and Rams are really starting to run away with the division a little bit. I forgot to show players of the week, but Minkah Fitzpatrick, with the biggest play of the game, getting the pick 6, would win it for AFC defense. So after this loss, we're in last place. We're now 2.5 behind the Niners and the Rams, who had the clear edge. They're the 2 best teams in the NFC right now, and we still have 3 of their next 7 games to end the year against the 2 of them, and that includes next week on the road at Levi Stadium against the 49ers. We cannot afford to lose this game. We've lost 2 in a row. We're starting to lose ground in the wild card race. We cannot drop another one, and this is going to be a massive challenge going on the road at a hostile environment against maybe the best team in the NFL. We're 0-4 against the Niners in this series. They have our number. They've dominated every time we've played against them. So I'm a little bit worried that the season could fall off the tracks unless we pull off a big upset next week. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.